Today, we're going to be discussing 5 things you should never do or buy in GTA 5 Online. I've made 2 of these videos in the past and you guys have seemed to really enjoy them, so I decided to make a 3rd episode. 5 things that you should never do in this game. Let's get it started. Number 1. Let's talk about bunker stock. When you actually sell your bunker stock, you guys never want to sell it in bulk orders. If you do this, you risk losing all of your stock, over $1 million if you have an upgraded bunker. The thing with bunkers is there's no difference if you sell it in thirds and quarters or even half of the stock at a time. A full bunker stock will sell for $1.05 million plus a 10% bonus for CEOs and MC presidents, giving you a grand total of about 1.1 million, which isn't that bad. Now selling in quarters, you'll make about 262k every sale you do, plus that 10% bonus if you choose to do that or not, will net you a total profit of about $288,000. Now if you multiply that by 4, it equals the exact same amount that you would make from selling a full bunker stock. The only reason you're doing this is because let's say somebody messes you up and kills you while you're doing your bunker sell mission. Instead of losing $1 million, you'll only end up losing about $280,000. So you can really see why it's so much better to sell it in smaller quantities instead of one large quantity, because if somebody kills you during that one bunker sell mission, say goodbye to $1.1 million worth of stock. But if somebody kills you in one of those 4 missions that you're doing, you only got to say goodbye to 300k and you could still walk away with about 900,000, which is a lot better than losing $1 million. So sell your bunker stock in small orders. Before we get into the next thing you should never do in GTA 5, check out the Gazani down below in the description if you guys need any money in GTA 5 and get 10% off by using code Frolickz. Number 2 is going to be wasting your money. A new DLC is just around the corner, and one thing you definitely don't want to do right now is blow your money on a bunch of random stuff like cars or clothes. Obviously, this is a video game, and you're supposed to have fun in video games, so you should be able to just buy whatever you want. And things in GTA can get pretty pricey, so if you're going to spend a ton of your money buying something and a new DLC is just about to come out and you know for a fact you're going to be playing and you're going to want to buy some of that new stuff that comes out, it's a better idea to just save your money right now. Rockstar did say this is going to be the biggest DLC in GTA 5 history. Why don't we take a little trip back in time? The biggest DLC that has been released in GTA 5, from my knowledge, is the Doomsday Heist. Now, this update brought us Mark II weapons, which are pretty damn expensive, 30 new vehicles, and 9 facilities, and probably a bunch of other stuff as well. Let's say you guys decided to buy everything from the Doomsday Heist update, which means one facility, all those new Mark II weapons, and the vehicles. We'll say that everything will roughly cost around the price of about $47 million, give or take $5 or $10 million. That is a lot of money. Now think about this. Rockstar said that this new update is going to be the biggest one yet. And everything in GTA 5 is just getting more and more expensive, so you guys know this update is going to end up costing an absolute fortune. So one thing you don't want to do right now is start blowing all of your money away. What I would suggest doing is before you make a big purchase, I would wait until Rockstar starts releasing some information about this new update. And if you don't really seem intrigued by it, which I doubt will happen, then go and buy all of this crazy stuff. But I'm telling you, you guys are going to want to wait. I would not suggest buying a $5 million plane or a $5 million CEO office or even a $3 million car right now, because you never know what's going to come out in the next month. So I would suggest waiting and don't blow all your money away just yet. Number 3 is going to be buying the X80 Proto. Now, a lot of people think this car is amazing, and if you think this car is amazing and nobody can change your opinion on that, skip ahead in the video. But let's talk about why this car is terrible and you should not buy it. The reason you should listen to me and not some other people is because I have a lot of money in this game, which I'm very, very grateful for. And when I spend my time playing this game, I usually play races. And if I have a lot of money, I buy a lot of cars. And I use a lot of those cars in races. And I've pretty much used every single supercar in the entire game during some kind of stunt race. Some of them are great, some of them aren't. The X80 Proto is hands down the worst car I've ever used in any of these races. And this is the reason why. Now, a lot of people think it's amazing because it has flaps on the back that help you with turning and stuff like that. One thing that isn't great about this car is the turning is extremely tight. Now obviously you'd want tight steering while doing races. That's obviously something you'd want. But with this car, it's just too much. It feels so heavy when you're turning, which is funny because it's actually a very lightweight car, but when you turn, it is so hard for some random reason. Obviously, if you guys zone out for like 1 second and you miss the point where you're supposed to turn and you try to turn, you're gonna end up crashing into a wall. And if you turn too hard, you're just gonna spin out because this car tends to do that a lot too. Now, it isn't terrible if you guys really focus and train yourself to use this car specifically, but in all honesty, if you guys want a great car to race with, go and use the Emirates or go and use the Krieger. Those are two amazing supercars that will definitely help you win a lot more races. Plus, with the $2.7 million you're going to spend on the X80 Proto, you can buy a lot of other stuff. So I just suggest staying away from the X80 and maybe purchasing a different car. Number 4 is going to be buying business upgrades. No, I'm not talking about staff, security, and equipment. I'm talking about the aesthetic stuff, like for instance in your facility, buying facility graphics or privacy glass, or upgrading your bedroom inside one of your businesses. Now, let's think about this for 2 seconds. When you guys are buying a business in GTA 5, you're buying it so you guys can make money. Now, obviously, I'm not saying don't upgrade these things because it makes the business look a little bit cooler inside. But if you guys are actually buying this business to make yourself a lot of money, you're not going to want to spend hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of dollars upgrading the cosmetic things inside of these businesses. Really think about it for 2 seconds here. Do you really think buying gun lockers, a vault, a gun range, custom paints, and all this other stuff is going to help you make a lot of money? Well, not really, at all actually. It's just gonna make things look a little more flashy. Like, think of it this way, in reality, people buy all these expensive clothes like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, and all that kind of stuff, but when you actually look at them, most of the time, they're the ones working at McDonald's or Harvey's or at Foot Locker. They're spending their money on things to look cool and flashy to impress other people. Meanwhile, the people that have a lot of money are the ones shopping the deals and going to Walmart and buying clothes from there instead. Just like in GTA, if you want to make money, don't blow $1 million on cosmetic stuff. Sure, buy them when you actually have the money to spend on that, but if you're just buying the business right now, what your main goal is to pay off the business and start making profit from there. You spend $2 million on a bunker, you want to keep working at that bunker until you guys make more than $2 million. After that, it's all just pure profit because you made your money back from what you spent. And then once you make your money back, if you really want to, then go and upgrade those cosmetic things inside of your businesses. But really think about what you're buying first. Like, be careful before you spend $800,000 on a gun range inside your bunker. Really think. Are you actually going to use it? Is it worth that $800K, or could you spend that $800K on a brand new car that you're going to drive around everywhere and make it look awesome? Just really think about it before you spend your money on those things. Number 5 is going to be business locations. This is very important. You guys don't want to buy the wrong location for your business, or you're going to regret it 5 minutes after or when you're doing your first sale. Let's go over the best locations where you guys can buy your businesses and the locations where you wouldn't want to. Starting off with bunkers. Number 1, you're never going to want to buy anything above the Alamo Sea. They might be cheaper, but they are so far from the city, which means more time selling and more time resupplying. Just buy anything below the Alamo Sea and you guys will not regret it because it takes a lot less time. I completed a bunker sell mission in about 2.5 minutes from my farmhouse bunker. But if I did that from the Paleto Bay bunker, I'd probably spend at least 5 to 6 minutes doing that one sell mission with one vehicle. Next is going to be MC businesses. You never want to buy them in scattered areas, like pretty much anywhere across the entire map. When you buy them, they're all pretty much in the exact same area as long as you purchase the correct ones. There's certain ones in Paleto Bay, there's certain ones in the middle of Blaine County, there's certain ones that are in the city. And the ones you want to buy are obviously the ones that are in the same general area. If you're going to buy one in the city, buy them all in the city. If you're going to buy them all in Paleto Bay, then just make sure you get every single one that's in Paleto Bay. And that's very, very important. If you're one of the people that actually grinds out on MC businesses and owns them all, you know that you're going to be resupplying constantly with them. And it just saves yourself a lot of time. Instead of actually buying one in Paleto Bay and buying one in the city, you'll be going back and forth all the time to resupply on them. But if you buy them all in the same location, then you guys won't be going back and forth so much, and you'll save a lot of time on the actual travel distance. Instead of traveling 5 miles, you may only have to travel 1 or not even half a mile. Take a screenshot of this chart on screen. It shows every single location for all of your MC businesses in the same general area. Make sure that you guys buy them in the same general area, so then you guys don't have to spend your time traveling across the map. Next up is CEO offices. There's 4 that you could purchase. There's 2 that I would suggest purchasing. The Arcadius Business Center if you guys want to spend a little more money and get some more luxury, or if you guys want to save your money, the Maze Bank West for $1 million. The reason you shouldn't buy the Lawn Bank West or the Maze Bank Tower is because they're so freaking expensive. The Maze Bank West only costs $1 million. Literally across the street is the Lawn Bank West. It costs $3.1 million. Don't forget, there's no difference in any of these CEO offices except for the location. You're really going to pay an extra $2.1 million for another CEO office across the street, and if you guys really want to spend that much money, you would think maybe the Maze Bank Tower is the best way to go. But the Arcadius Business Center has one feature that none of these other ones do, and that's going to be it has an underground parking garage. Yes, all of these CEO offices have one of those, but the Arcadius Business Center is the only one that you can actually drive inside of that parking garage. It's crazy that some people still think the Maze Bank Tower is the best one. Just because it's bigger and costs a lot more money doesn't mean it's better, because the features are really what make it count. Pretty much, they're all the exact same except for the location, and the one and only feature that is different from all of these CEO offices is the parking garage the Arcadius Business Center has. Just take my word for it, buy the Maze Bank West if you don't have a lot of money, and the Arcadius Business Center if you do. The next 3 business locations we're going to go over pretty quickly. Nightclubs. Don't buy them at the bottom of the map because it just means more travel time. The ones you want to buy are the ones close to the highway or the ones at the top of the city. You can just get there a lot quicker. Next up is going to be cargo warehouses. Just like nightclubs, you guys are going to want to buy them close to a highway for ease of access. You're obviously going to want to buy large cargo warehouses because they're the better investment in the long run, and you can own up to 5 of them. The best one you could purchase is this one right here. The reason why is because when you're driving on one of the main highways, you guys can literally just turn off of it because there's a break in the actual highway, and you could be at your cargo warehouse in a matter of seconds. So if you're going to buy one, make sure you buy this one. And finally, vehicle cargo warehouses. Lucky for you, there aren't too many of these, so the ones that you're going to want to buy are obviously the ones that are closest to a highway, just like the other 2 we talked about, because then you can just get there a little quicker. And also, just don't buy them at the very bottom of the map, because you're not going to want to drive all the way through the city and get all the way to the bottom of the map. Plus, most likely what's going to end up happening every time you source a vehicle, the vehicles are either going to spawn north, west, or east. They rarely ever spawn south. So then you'll be closer to your warehouse pretty much every single time you're doing a vehicle sourcing mission. The best ones are obviously the ones that are closest to the top of the city. Well guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did make it all the way to the end, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below that you did. It's always greatly appreciated. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.